Hi, this is Fernando. I'm back for another video. I'm excited because this time around I'll be talking about my Criterion Collection on DVD and Blu-ray and beyond. I will tell you all about the beyond part later on in the video. But right now, I wanted to share in this video the titles that I have, that I own, and that I've been collecting through the years, and that I'm very, happy to have them because Criterion Collection is a company that releases, fine art cinema from around the world. They're very respected. They're very popular, and as soon as I discovered them about 10 years ago, I noticed that they released very unique titles and very interesting, movies that I was had before on VHS or even on DVD. But at the same time, they all had something in common, that they were very artistic and very unique. Some of the titles are released for the first time in any format ever. So that's what makes them very special. Another thing that they do is that they not only they remaster the films, but they also include the booklets with extensive amount of details about the production, and sometimes those releases come with, they work very close to the director of the film. If the director is still alive, and it's up to it, and they even do it, commentary and everything. So they're very they're top notch. They're on top of their game. There are other boutique companies, but Criterion is like the king or the queen. I don't know. So anyway, let's start off with the titles that I have officially from the Criterion Collection. Okay, so I'm going to share them with you. Thank you for watching this video, and also I want to know what are your favorite Criterion Collection titles. If you have a few of the ones that I have in my collection, the ones that I'm going to show you right now, and if you wish for some certain film, a specific film that it's not released on the Criterion Collection, if you wish to see it, later on, before within the next year or something, because I myself have a list of movies that I think they should be in Criterion, but sometimes it's because of the different reasons that they don't release those titles. But anyway, that's another thing. That's another topic. Right now, I'm going to show you my Criterion Collection, my official Criterion Collection. It's not huge, and that's why the beyond part of the title of this video is gonna, I will explain later on. Okay, so the first one is a Repulsion, which is my favorite, one of my top favorite Catherine Deneuve films. This is a great, beautiful, a gorgeous release. I love. I was telling you about the booklets and stuff. It's a great booklet with photos and liner notes and a whole lot of information that you need about the film. So yeah, it's a great release. Repulsion. Catherine Deneuve, the star of this film. Great title. The next one is Antichrist. Here it is. It's a very controversial film starring Willem Dafoe. It's very unique. A lot of people talk about it. I discovered, it was a blind buy, and it was on my alley. I loved it. So here it is, the official Criterion Collection of Antichrist. So the next one is my top favorite Japanese movie ever. Here it is, Onibaba. I love it. I love this film. One thing that I was a little bit, not disappointed, because I don't care about those things really. But the thing is that I noticed that this new movie that came out called The Black Phone, like the one of the masks is very similar to this one. This mask is so unique and incredibly with detail and stuff. So I thought, maybe they got inspired with this the official iconic mask from Onibaba. So yeah, there you go. There's a booklet and everything with liner notes and Susie photos and stuff like that. This is Onibaba, my favorite Japanese film ever. I catch the last 50 minutes of this film in the Sundance channel back in the day, cable TV, and I said, I need to see the rest of that movie because I'm intrigued. I love the style. I love it's so effective. It's so eerie, and the story is so incredible. So I loved it. I loved Alibaba. Here it is. So the next one, it's Children of Paradise. This was another blind buy. I found it. I read the synopsis and I thought it was interesting. And let me tell you, it really is. I was so pleased with this release and the quality of the film. So here it is. Another. This came in a bigger box, I don't know how to explain this. It's a thicker box. Yeah, I don't know the angle. I always have problems with the angles. Here it is. This is how thick this box is with the booklet, and it's a 2-disc release. So there it is. Children of Paradise, and I know that's Glory, the Criterion Collection release. Okay, so this is another movie that never got released on any format before. It's a very special film. I got interested because when I read on IMDb, like in the mid '90s, the films from Kristen McNichol, which is the star of this film. Um, uh, this movie is on the list, and I said I need to find it, but there was no way to get a hold of a copy of that movie. But years later, Criterion, doing their magic, they released it. So here it is, White Dog. It's a very controversial film as well. It's about that the Kristen McNichol character finds this dog on the streets, and she takes care of him and everything. But then she discovers that the dog was trained, or earlier on, to attack African American people. She has to deal with it. It's a very unique film, White Dog, with Kristen McNichol. I love her. Okay, so another film that wasn't released in any other format before in Criterion, and once again did their thing and released it, is Three Women. I love this film. I saw this film in late night TV, an edited version of it back in the day. I don't know, in the early 2000s or something like that. And I was so impressed with the technique, the story, the acting. Of course, it's directed by Brian De Palma. He's one of my favorite directors. And it stars the fabulous Shelley Duvall and Sissy Spacek. It's an incredible film. It's just an incredible cinematic experience. So, Three Women. It's here with the booklet as well. I love it. So, Three Women on Criterion Collection. A must buy. So, the other one, it's another Japanese film, The Ballad of Marayama. Here it is. There was another blind buy here, and I loved it, but nothing come close to Onibaba. So the next thing is like a box set, Grey Gardens. This is a famous documentary film that we follow these two sisters and no, I'm sorry, the mother and daughter, and they live in this house, and they live they have a very unique lifestyle. Let me tell you, it's iconic, and it's a fascinating look into their lives. It's captured in this 2 discs box set from Criterion. Okay, the Bells of Grey Gardens. Here it is. Okay. So this was another foreign film that when I was exploring foreign films in my teens, I came across this movie, and I thought it was very special. It's not my typical type of movie, but I was so glad that Criterion later on released it, so I decided to get it. It's Anos Amores. Here it is. It's another thick case, and it has a 2-disc release. Anos Amores from the Criterion Collection. I have lots of love for this movie because it's one of the first foreign films I ever saw in my life. So here it is. Okay, from Criterion. So Metropolitan is another blind buy. Because when I discovered Criterion, I just said, "Oh, let me get these titles," because I read the synopsis in the back of the box, and I said, "Well, this looks interesting." It was choosing, so exciting to get a box of chocolates, and you don't know which one to take and to eat, so it's the same thing. So Metropolitan, I was surprised by this film. It's a great piece of cinema right here, and I really highly recommend it. Okay. So the other one is the David Cronenberg classic video drama. I saw this movie on VHS in the mid '80s, and I was so incredibly shocked by the film back in the day. And it's still it's it's a solid film, and it stars Debbie Harry from Blondie, among also what's his name, James Woods. It's in this movie. It's a very iconic. It's a cult classic. The package is very interesting because it's like a beta tape in a thick case. Here's the back. It's like a beta tape. Here it is. Oh, it's upside down. Okay, so here it is. The booklet is in here, and it's a two-disc release as well. Some people think that this looks like a strange VHS tape, but no. I have an example of how a beta tape looks like. I have the Kate Bush live at Hammersmith Odeon beta release. So here it is. Here is how the tape looks. It's a very different how a VHS looks. Let me get a VHS in here. Okay, so here it is. The tape of Multiple Maniacs from Divine. I will talk about it. See the difference. In the back, it's a smaller tape. Supposedly, the beta tape is higher quality than the VHS, but for some reason it didn't took off as, it wasn't as popular at the VHS. So, yeah, it's a very interesting physical media format, So, yeah, I wanted to show you that because I know that there's people who have no idea how a beta or a VHS looks like. Collectors because they're too young and they didn't experience that in the past to own these, special kind of tapes. So here it is. The other one is another one of my favorite movies by Catherine Deneuve. It's Belle de Jour. I had a transfer from my original VHS on this DVD, and I'm happy to have the Criterion Collection edition as well. Another one of my favorite David Bowie movies, David Bowie worked with Catherine Deneuve in The Hunger, but that's not in the Criterion Collection, sadly, because that's an excellent film from MGM. Merry Christmas, Mr. Lawrence, a very controversial and unique film. It's not really my type of movie, but David Bowie gives an outstanding performance, and the story is so incredible. You have to experience it. Here it is, the booklet and the disc. This is a Blu-ray. All of the releases, I think it's the only Blu-ray from Criterion that I have. The rest are all DVDs. I had Merry Christmas, Mr. Lawrence for the longest time on VHS. So here's the original box from Universal and CA. So here it is. So, okay, this is my top favorite Bette Midler movie, and I think it's my favorite movie about music. It's an unpopular opinion because I know that there is Almost Famous and Bohemian Rhapsody and stuff like that. But The Rose, I was blown up by this movie because I discovered Bette Midler on MTV with the Beast of Burden video that she did with Mick Jagger back in the day, in 1983. And I said, oh, she has so much charisma, she's so great. But then later that year on HBO, they played. In the TV guide there was The Rose around 1 a.m. and it said starring Bette Midler. I said, isn't she that singer of that music video that I saw on MTV? I better watch that. And this was before. This was 1979, and the Beast of Burden video from the No Frills album is 1983. So I had no idea that she had an acting career before that, or even during that period of time. So I saw that movie, and I was so impressed with it, and it really touched me deeply. So yeah, I have The Rose in different formats, but this is a Criterion edition, and it's incredible. It looks gorgeous. Sometimes I like the look of a VHS. Don't get me wrong, because it looks, I have, it's not perfect, and that sometimes even adds to the movie experience. So talking about other releases from The Rose, I have it at the regular DVD, and also, of course, the VHS. Here it is from CBS Fox, because this is a 20th Century Fox movie. So here it is. Okay, he wrote some Criterion, regular DVD, and a VHS. So yeah. So believe it or not, that was my official, my entire, so far, by far, my Criterion Collection on DVD. Because I know that they released laser discs also as well, and even VHS, I think, in the past. Yeah, but the beyond part of this video is titles that I have on DVD or in other formats or VHS, but they are currently part of the Criterion Collection. So I need to do upgrades later on, if I have the chance. So let me start off with those titles. First is Mulholland Drive from David Lynch. I saw this movie in the theaters and I loved it. I was so anxious to see it when I saw the trailer when I went to see another movie because at that time I didn't have access to internet. I don't think that, YouTube or anything. So I saw the trailer from this movie when I went to see another movie. I can't remember, that movie, but anyway, I said I need to see this film, and when it came out, I live in Puerto Rico. That's why you see me struggling sometimes with the English language because it's my second language, and I'm not. I know I'm not that good. But I saw the movie with no subtitles in Spanish, and I loved it because the picture was, the screen was clean and there was no distraction, and I really loved that experience in the cinema. One of my best movie experiences ever, watching Mulholland Drive in the big screen in the cinema. So that's it. Another movie that is in the Criterion Collection is The Brood. David Cronenberg as well, starring Samantha Eggar. I love her in Curtains, and here's in another cult classic called The Brood. It's a very special and unique film. So here it is. I must do an upgrade later on. So another one is from another one of my favorite directors, Brian De Palma. I have Dressed to Kill, the Blu-ray, okay, but I have the regular DVD from MGM as well. So I know it's in the Criterion, but I'm getting there. So another one of my favorite movies. This was one of the first movies ever. I think I saw it when I'm in my early teens, and this movie really helped me or made magic happen to make me love movies. This was one of the first movies I ever saw that really like made a change the vision of how I saw cinema. Because when I was a kid, I went to the theater all the time. But this movie I saw it on HBO back in the day, in my early teens, in the early 80s, and I said, wow, the world of cinema is an incredible experience, out of this world. So here it is, The First Lieutenant's Woman, with Meryl Streep and Jeremy Irons. It's an excellent movie. I love it. Love it, love it, love it. I really need to get that Criterion. I also have it on VHS. Do you remember these big VHS boxes that came back in the day? They're iconic. Here it is. Oh, in all its glory, The First Lieutenant's Woman. Oh my God. I also have it on, you guessed it, on Laserdisc. No, this is not the soundtrack. This is the Laserdisc. Look at how gorgeous these releases are. 12 by 12. Even with a gatefold. Look at that. Isn't that incredible for a fan? This is just too much. Okay, so another one, Bette Davis. Bette Davis, the only diva in Hollywood that matters. Here it is. All About Eve. One of her best pictures ever. Here it is on the DVD. I know it's in Criterion. I better get it. I also had that movie for the longest time on VHS. Here's the original artwork on the VHS. I know that so many, John Hughes movies are available on Criterion. I have 6, Breakfast Club in this interesting, notebook with the DVDs inside. So, yeah, I love it. I love this release, and but it's there. This is the way I have 16 Candles, Weird Science, and of course the Breakfast Club, the Rat Pack. Here it is. Okay, another one, comedy, iconic comedy, Fast Times at Richmond High. It's also a Criterion, but I have this DVD version of it. Okay, returning to Brian De Palma. Okay, this is a hidden gem, and no, now everybody talks about this movie, but back in the day, no one knew about this film. This Blowout with John Travolta and Nancy Allen, of course. It's an incredible film. I love it. I love it incredibly. Lots of love for this movie. Another one from Brian De Palma is Sisters, with fabulous, um, uh, like a divided screen that he uses in all of his movies, and it's a breathtaking story. It's a unique. It's just like a strange release, like a Japanese edition of it, but it's the DVD looks great, and I think it has subtitles, but you can put them off. So yeah, Sisters is an incredible film. You have to be there to believe it. Jennifer Salt is in this film, and yeah. When I first saw this film, let's be honest, I was so confused. Uh, I didn't know how to react to this film, but I rewatched it, because I rented this film back in the day in the video stores and the video clubs that I belonged. I was a member, and I felt that it had potential, but I felt uncomfortable watching it. But I noticed that there was something special in the story and the acting, and so I gave it several chances until I finally came around and ended up loving it. Now, today, if you ask me, this is one of my favorite horror films ever. So here it is, Sisters. Okay, so this is the other one, The Ice Storm. It's filmed in Connecticut. My friend Wayne told me all about it, and this I know it's in Criterion, but I have the original 20th Century Fox DVD release. So this is Spinal Tap, another movie about music. It was a fictional rock group. It's hilarious. It's a cult classic as well. So it's in Criterion, but I have this regular from MGM release. So another one that it's about music and dancing is All That Jazz. It's a very dark film. It's a very it has many levels. It has a lot of dimensions. It's not your typical movie at all. That's why it's in Criterion. It's a very unique film. I love the soundtrack from this film. I have another video. Actually, I have two videos about soundtracks, and I think it's in part two is the one that I featured the soundtrack on vinyl from this movie. It's in there. It's great. It's a great film. So in this film, you have Jessica Lange, and she's incredible in this film. The word incredible. If you take a shot of alcohol every time I say incredible or unique, you're gonna be dead drunk at the end of the video. So the other ones, these are releases by Image Entertainment, but later on the rights, Criterion got the rights. It's Andy Warhol's presents, directed by Paul Morrissey, Blood for Dracula with Joe D'Alessandro. He is, incredibly good looking in this film, and so here is Blood for Dracula, a very controversial film, as well as Flesh for Frankenstein. This movie was rated X back in the day when it was released, and it wasn't, it was a hard to find film on VHS, but Image Entertainment did this several years ago, and I got these two releases from Image, but now they're on Criterion. Yeah. So the Beatles, A Hard Day's Night. I know it's in Criterion, but I have this beautifully packaged edition of it. So here it is, the Beatles, A Hard Day's Night. So this is a transfer of Blue Velvet that I made myself from my VHS on DVD, and I used the artwork from the VHS because I love how the tape looked, and I did the transfer. So this is the way I enjoy Blue Velvet. But I'm sure if I get a Criterion, I'll be it will be a big difference. But I really enjoy it just the way it is in this transferred from the tape with the great Isabel Rossellini in it. Okay. So the other one that I did a transfer from my VHS, it's Smooth Talk. This one stars, oh my God, Treat Williams. He's gorgeous in this film, and Laura Dern gives a fantastic performance in this film. I was so, like surprised that this movie was picked up by Criterion because of all the movies, I've seen, this one is a special film, but never in a million years I will imagine that this movie will get picked up by Criterion. There it is. Another one of the classics, Valley of the Dolls. I have it right here, the DVD. This edition is incredibly good looking. The colors are bright and the audio is great. Valley of the Dolls. Neely O'Hara. Okay. I know that the original Cat People is on Criterion. This one, the 1982 version with Natasha Kinski and Malcolm McDowell, is not. But I wanted to show the original DVD release for the Cat People. This might be a good, good action from them to release also the remake of Cat People, because it's very artistic, it's very unique, it's a very dark film, so it's up there, up their league, so it will be great. That's just my opinion. Okay, so another movie that I have on Laserdisc. I no longer have a Laserdisc player, but I love to collect this format. Midnight Cowboy with Sylvia Miles is in this movie, but also, of course, Dustin Hoffman and John Boyd. But Sylvia Miles is incredible in this film. So here it is on Laserdisc. Oh, I want to show the Laserdisc since I have the format. I was talking about different formats. Look how good! It's like a giant CD or DVD. It's incredible. I love it. I have in my apartment here. My apartment I have an entire wall, of like as decoration of laser discs sticked in the wall. So it looks gorgeous. So that's so we covered like the beta, the VHS, now the laser disc. So we're talking about different formats. That will be another video, but I think we covered that topic in this one as an accident. Okay, Divine with John Waters. A couple of their movies are being released on Criterion as well. I have the VHS of Multiple Maniacs with the famous giant lobster scene. So here it is on VHS. The other one is Polyester. I love this movie. Francine, poor Francine. Here is she's not happy in that picture, in that photo. So here is Polyester on VHS. I love how this VHS from the New Line Cinema. I love how that VHS looks, so that's why I haven't. But I know that the Criterion version is better. Pink Flamingos has just been released on the Criterion. I know this movie was on DVD also before the Criterion release, but I was just so happy with this VHS. Look at Divine there, and the rest of the cast in there doing their thing. So here it is, Pink Flamingos. Yeah. Hedwig and the Angry Inch. It's another Criterion Collection title, and I still have the original VHS version of it. I know I was looking at a video from my favorite record store in the entire universe, Spin Me Round, and I think I saw in one of the recent videos, like the on vinyl, like the original cast recording of the play, because it's a musical as well in the theater. And they, one of the videos they were showing the new vinyl that they're available in store or online on spinmeroundstore.com. The recording of the cast of the play, of the musical, that it's on stage and as a play in the theaters, a live show. So yeah, but the movie version, Hedwig and the Angry Inch, it's here and it's in Criterion, but I still have the VHS. I love this cover. From Pedro Almodovar, from Spain, my favorite movie of his. Maybe it's because it's the first one I saw. And I saw it in the theater with friends, and I had a great time. I don't usually like comedies, but, this comedy is pretty good. If I have Favorite comedies. I think it will be five. I have a top five like Victor Victoria and Dead Becomes Her, and one on a version of Nervous Breakdown is one of them, with Carmen Maura. So here it is from Orion VHS, the original release of the tape. Okay. Oh, okay, this is another Robert Altman, and it came in a double tape. Shortcuts. This movie, not everybody knows about it. Not everybody talks about it. But when I've seen people reviewing it, and when they get it, they are amazed because this movie is amazing. The typical, all-star cast that Robert Altman usually uses in this type of, you know, multi-layered, stories. Lily Tomlin, Andy McDowell, Juliette Moore, just to name a few. Here it is, Shortcuts. Excellent film. Spectacular movie. Here it is in VHS. I also got the this making of Shortcuts VHS. I also have the soundtrack on CD. So here it is, Shortcuts. It's all about shortcuts. Tess from Roman Polanski. I love The Tenant from Roman Polanski, but here is Tess with the incredible Natasha Kinski that I talked about her from Cat People 1982, the remake. But here is in Tess. This was one of the other movies that I saw in my early teens on HBO late at night, and I was, so impressed with the artistic level of this movie. It was like visiting another dimension, another planet. So here it is, Tess. It's a double tape. Here it is. Okay. So another Roman Polanski movie. It's Rosemary's Baby. I think this was what part of the apartment trilogy. I read something about that. The Tenant is another one, that I mentioned earlier as part of that apartment trilogy. So Mia Farrow in this movie, it's great. I don't have to say anything about this because we all know that this movie is so iconic and unique. Better get that Criterion. Okay, so there goes another shot of alcohol. Okay, Girlfriends. This movie was another movie that I saw. HBO really helped me, as MTV helped me to define my musical taste, my taste in music. HBO really helped me in the early days to shape the type of movies that I, will enjoy later on. This is my, it's a, my typical type of movie, but it's a very moving drama. It's supposedly it's a comedy, but maybe it's a dark comedy. I don't know. Melanie Myron is in this movie. I really enjoyed this film. I have lots of love for this movie. A lot of nostalgia when I was watching HBO in my grandmother's house back in the day. A 13-year-old kid, enjoying movies. And this movie I came across about this movie, with this movie, and I loved it. Not everything I saw I loved, but this one is very special. Girlfriends. And it's on Criterion. That's another surprise. I never saw that coming. I didn't saw that coming. The Criterion picked up that title. Oh, Jacqueline Bisset, Day for Night. I love this movie. There are so many great scenes in this movie. It's a very simple movie, but at the same time, it's a situation. It's like a reality show. It's like a behind the scenes making of a movie, or the troubles that they experience. This is a bigger VHS box from the other one, from the French Lieutenant's Woman, from Warner Brothers. So here it is. This one, has the cast and everything inside. Here it is. Day for Night. I love this packaging. So Black Orpheus was another one of the foreign films that I discovered when I was exploring that type of films, and I was so blown up by this movie, Black Orpheus. I have two different editions on VHS of this movie. This is one of them. Janus Films, yeah. So here it is, Black Orpheus, very unique, from Brazil. It's a unique film. It's like a horror, intense drama, but it's suspense. It's very so tension in that movie, and so beautiful at the same time. It's very intense film. So here's the other format that I have, the other release, the other, you know, the other edition of the movie. I don't know. I'm running out of words to describe the stuff in here. Okay, I'm getting a little bit. I need to drink some water. So I know that Diabolique, the original black and white movie, is on Criterion Collection, but I have, I don't have that the original Diabolique in any format. But it's a great film. I have the remake with Isabella Gianni that we all love for Possession with Sam Neill. That's another movie that is so artistic and great. And Sharon Stone is in this movie, also Kathy Bates. It's a good remake, yeah. I might say that, yeah. So Diabolique, here it is. And I also, when I was like 7 years old, I remember this movie, which is on the TV. I saw it on TV when I was 7 or 8 years old. I don't know, but I didn't. It was so hard for me to find this movie because I didn't know the title of this movie. But then when the remake of Diabolique came out, people were referring about this TV movie version of Diabolique as well. It's called Reflections of Murder. I love this movie. I'm so lucky to have it on VHS, not on DVD. After so many years, I just got it like 10 years ago. And I never thought I could find it because I didn't have much details about it. But Reflections of Murder is the remake of the original Diabolique, and then came the Diabolique for the cinema. Okay, another movie I saw when I was young, in my early teens, on HBO was called The Red Balloon. It's a very simple movie, but it has its magic. I know it's in Criterion, and I have the original VHS release of it. Um, it's a movie that I enjoyed. I really enjoyed back in the day. Maybe today not as much because I'm a different person, but I have lots of love for this movie, The Red Balloon. Also, The Red Shoes is another one that I don't have that it's in Criterion. Okay, this was another surprise. I had this VHS, for the longest time, and I really enjoyed this movie. But then I noticed that Criterion got it on their collection. Working Girls, not the Working Girl with Melanie Griffith and Harrison Ford. No, it's Working Girls. It's an independent movie, and it's very effective, and it's a great film. You have to be there to experience it. It's has a lot of. It's a very honest piece of work. It's how cinema should be done. I tend to enjoy this kind of a movie. It's very raw, in your face. Working Girls. The artwork doesn't give it any justice, but the film, believe me, it's great. So here it is. I need to rewind this tape. I have to pay the dollar on my own collection if I don't rewind the tapes. I just wanted to see if it worked the other day. So we talked about a Blowout, but I know that Blow Up, it's also the Criterion Collection. And this is the big VHS version from MGM. Usually, Warner Brothers are the ones who released in this type of box, but it seems like MGM as well. I know because also The Hunger with Catherine Deneuve and David Bowie and Sustrenders also came out originally this way as well. So here it is, Blow Up. It's a cult classic, a very unique film. With the Vanessa Redgrave, of course. So yeah, so the last one that I have is by David Lynch, Twin Peaks, Fire Walk with Me. I have a VHS, but also like a strange release of the film on DVD. I don't know. Here it is, Twin Peaks, Fire Walk with Me. Okay, it's like a budget DVD release of it. And David Bowie is in this movie and Chris Isaac. So I need to get the Criterion because this release is great. It looks amazing. And it's official from New Line Cinema and everything. But it came like, in this case, it's a strange release format of it. So yeah. I hope I didn't bore you with all of this information. But I had a lot of fun. I wanted to make this video for the longest time. And I finally did. I know I have a couple of more VHS of titles of, that are currently on Criterion. If I get around them, maybe I'll do like a part two of video of the Beyond part of the video of the My Criterion Collection. So now you understand what the My Criterion Collection video and Beyond meant at the beginning and when you read the title. So thank you so much. I need to get some water. Okay, so I'll see you soon. Thank you so much for watching. Let me know in the comments. Talk to me. I love to reply to everyone. Let me know which are the favorite Criterion titles, movies that you wished were on Criterion Collection. If you took advantage of this, any sales, recent sales for their titles, the ones that you purchased recently, whatever. I would love to hear from you. So see you soon. I'm also short of breath. Oh my God, I talk so much. I never talk so much. It's like a extended monologue. Okay, so bye bye now. Okay, ciao.